So I did something I haven't done in years, and that's film an entire music video completely free. So when I say free, I'm meaning that I wasn't paid for this music video and I didn't pocket any money directly from it. I know us as creators, we never want to hear the word free. We never want to hear free work. But I think there are times where doing free work or doing work for less than you normally would could actually benefit you in the long run. So I think this video might be on the longer end, but make sure you guys stick around because it's going to be a good one. And if you guys haven't yet, please subscribe to the channel so you guys never miss a video. So I'm putting the BTS video out at the same time I'm putting the music video out. So after you're done watching this video, make sure you guys check that out. I'll leave a link down in the description. So back in November, I had this idea of putting together a music video where all the funds go directly into the production. So I would pocket none of it. I felt like in order to get higher paying clients, I need to be able to show these clients the type of video that we could put together with the right budget. So I'm sitting there thinking about how I can make this happen. Like, how can I show these people the type of video we could put together if I don't have clients that's paying me this type of budget? So that's when it came to me. I'm gonna have to do free work. I'm gonna have to cut from the budget somewhere so we could get this done. So in this video, I'm gonna break it down. I'm gonna be talking about the out-of-pocket fees that we paid, as well as if a client did come to me with this idea, the type of budget that they would need so we can get this done. So if I was gonna put this project together, one where I don't benefit directly from it, I wanted to make sure I genuinely liked the song. So I hopped on Instagram and I did some research and I listened to a whole bunch of local artists. And for a minute I was feeling like maybe this won't be possible because 90% of the music that I listened to, I honestly didn't really like. And that's just me keeping it real. But that was until I came across this artist. And when I tell you guys that his music is actually really, really good, like it's really, really good. He actually makes the type of music that I enjoy and that I listen to on a regular basis. And he goes by the name Jamaar. So long story short, I hit him up on IG and I pitched the idea to him. Now, initially me going into this, I'm thinking like, I'm still kind of skeptical as to if this project can actually get done. Because I put myself in the shoes of the artist. Like if somebody randomly hit me up and told me that they want to shoot a free music video for me and basically put all the funds in the production of the video, I would be a little skeptical. But he actually hit me back super quick and he was excited about the project. And there was something dope that I found out that I didn't know at first. It was actually on the Netflix series Rhythm and Flow. He was just on the first episode briefly, but nonetheless, he was on it and I think that's cool. So the next step in this project came to meetup. And we basically just met up at a local Starbucks and this pretty much solidified on both sides that we were serious about it. So at this meetup, I basically told him my entire game plan for the project. I told him the exact song that I wanted to use of his, the type of location I was looking for, outfits I had in mind, color schemes for the video, props that we needed, the type of shots I wanted, and different lighting setups. I had all of this planned before linking up with Jamaar, so it would be easy and smooth. So at this point, Jamaar is super excited. He probably would be ready to shoot and film that day if possible. But I knew that this was gonna take time and I didn't want to rush it. So I kind of projected that we would be putting this out towards the end of January 2020. So it's December now and we started to order things off Amazon that we needed and also Location Scout. I knew for sure that I wanted this to take place in a warehouse. So we actually looked at 2 different warehouses. The first one we looked at was a smaller garage type warehouse and we actually almost booked that one. But I kind of felt like they were trying to take advantage of us on the fees. The price that it was listed at and versus the price that the total that it ended up being just didn't match up to me. So we kept looking. We ended up checking out this second warehouse and I'm glad that we did because I think it fit more into the idea that I had for the video. Plus, the total for this warehouse was the same as the first warehouse, smaller warehouse that we looked at. Now, I knew that I wanted a nice car in the video as well as a couple models if we could get them. So here's where we'll start calculating the cost of what we came out of pocket with. Everything from outfits to props to other miscellaneous items and the location, we're at about $1,000. I was able to pull a couple strings where we didn't have to pay for certain aspects. Otherwise, we'd probably be at somewhere near 1,500. So fast forward, and now it's the day of the shoot. And let me just say, this is the most hectic set that I've been on. Starting with, as soon as we got there was people inside the warehouse, like loading up a truck in the space that we were gonna use. So I'm sitting there thinking like, okay, we locked in a certain amount of time for us to use the space. We showed up on time. Like, how's this gonna work out? Luckily, the guy who I booked with was super cool, and he ended up letting us use the space for however long we needed to finish the video. So I'm gonna be talking about these scenes in the order that we shot them, and not necessarily in the order that they appear in the video, only because it'll be easier for me to basically put them in a timeline, okay? So as far as the camera that I used for the video, the entire video was shot on the Sony a7S II, and I used 3 lenses. We used the Sony GM 24-70mm, we used the Tamron 28-75, and the Sigma 35 1.4. So the general idea was Jamaar is basically playing 2 characters. He's playing himself, of course, and he's also playing a character of basically a hater or someone who doesn't want to see him win. So we started off in this room that was actually super crazy. There's a bunch of like pillars and poles in this room, and I made for like a dope background. Basically for the lighting setup here, I just used the 120D as our main light, and I knew that I didn't want to just black out the background. Like, I didn't want the light to just shine on Jamaar and everything else be dark. So I added the space light modifier attachment to the light, and that basically gave us a little bit of ambient light. And in the background, I had 2 RGB lights, and I put those to the red color to basically kind of portray him, or portray this character as being evil. So these scenes were meant to be placed where the hook is playing. So we filmed some performance shots, a little bit of B-roll, and yeah, we did a wide push in, push out shot, and I did a close up. Yeah, just kind of mixed it up and gave me something to work with in post. So going into the next scene, these shots actually turned out to be my favorite shots of the entire video. Basically, we mounted a Quasar Science tube on the wall. So before we actually mounted the tube on the wall, this tube does not change colors, so it only gives out basically like white light. I got this idea from, I think his name is Jalen J on YouTube, on how to make the tubes basically different colors, or any color you want. So I ordered a pack of painter's tape, and it came with, I think it was a pack of 8 different colors. So pretty much any color that you want, you can change the light to. So for this scene, I used the purple tape on top of the light, and that gave us that purple tone that I was going for. So the light is mounted on the wall using gaffer's tape, and gaffer's tape is pretty strong, so I was pretty confident that it wasn't gonna fall or anything like that. So the only lighting I used for this scene was the tube light that's on the wall, as well as this RGB light that I picked up and it's flashing in the background, or on its back. And that light that's flashing, I believe it's called Falcon Eyes F7 or something like that, but it's actually crazy. You can change this light to any color you want, and it gets pretty bright. And it also comes with a diffuser, so that helps with, you know, not getting that harsh light that you would normally get. I think I might end up doing like a review or some sort of video with this light because it's that good. So these shots right here were only for the ad-libs on the hook and a portion of the second verse. So I have the camera mounted on a tripod, and I'm using an old slider that I had in my house laying around for, I don't know, a couple years. And I finally wanted to put it to some use, and it did the trick. And this shot would have been completely fine just on the tripod, but I think the slider did add a little bit of subtle flavor to it. So pretty much in the same spot, we shot the intro of the video also. So in the intro, the second character is on the phone and he's down talking Jamaar. So for this setup, I took the painter's tape off of the tube light and I mounted it on the stand. And this basically gives Jamaar this nice white outline in front of him. So I told Jamaar to do motions like he's on the phone. He was also smoking, and the smoke combined with the light in front of him was super dope. I also used the fog machine to add some light smoke in front of him too, and the shot came out dope. So the next shots were the car scenes. So I had my boy Michael pull the car into the warehouse, and this is also when we're going to incorporate the model into the music video too. So for this setup, I used the Quasar Science tube again. I used the yellow painter's tape this time, and this basically would complement Jamar's jacket. Next, I just poured some water on the ground around the tube light, hoping that the reflections from the light would hit the water and, you know, it would look dope in camera. And then I had some prop money that I ordered on Amazon, and I kind of just scattered that around on the floor too. Our main key light here is going to be the 120D with the light dome, and I also used the LED for the model so she wouldn't be completely dark in the background. And I also threw in that F7 RGB light inside the car with the flashing effect, and that just made the car look cool. So here we got a variety of shots. We got some performance shots, we got B-roll, a bunch of B-roll of the model, some B-roll with Jamaar and the model, and these scenes are only going to be for the second verse. So for this next scene, it's going to be for the first verse only. Originally, I had the idea of setting up like a living room area in the warehouse. But during the time when we were checking out this warehouse, we actually saw this chair that we could use that kind of fit the video better. So we kind of built off of that. So we have this dope wooden type chair, and to kind of build off of my original idea of the living room, I just put a plant next to him as well as a fan on the ground. And I kind of think these mesh well as far as catering to my original idea and improvising a little bit. So the lighting setup here is just the Aperture 120D again with the honeycomb attachment. And I also used the F7 off to the side with the yellow color. And this kind of just fills in the shadows while keeping the same color theme of the video. So here we just got some performance shots as well as some B-roll for the first verse. Nothing too crazy, but these shots were actually super cool too. And this brings us to our last shot here. So for this scene, I kind of wanted to symbolize the defeat of the second character. Unlike the first hook where he was like super hype and energetic, I kind of wanted him to be chill and laid back in this scene. Kind of just like almost accepting his defeat at this point, right? So I had Jamaar sitting alone on a stack of pallets. And for the lighting here, I just used the 120D with the honeycomb attachment off in the distance a little bit. And this was just shining a little bit of light on Jamaar. And in the background, I used 2 RGB lights with the red color, still to give him that evil feel. So wrapping this up and going back to the total cost of the video, like I said, we spent about $1,000 on the production, and had this been a client who hit me up with this idea and wanted to get this done, I probably would have charged anywhere from $800 to $1,000. So looking at this, you're looking at about a $2,000 music video budget, which is crazy because in the grand scheme of things, I think that's actually pretty affordable, and I think the music video looks really good. I'm always super critical of my video work, and so for me to think it looks really good, I think it says something. So before I get up out of here, I just want to thank everybody who helped me put this project together, because it definitely would not have been possible without them. So thank you to my guys Vibe, DJ, and Michael. Thank you to Kimothy for helping me with the initial meetup. And thank you to Daisy for being down to be in the video and killing it. And thank you to Jamaar, man, for being cool and, being down to put this project together with me. I think it came out super dope. And like I said, sometimes, man, you just gotta do free work or do work for less than you normally would, because you get better outcomes and it'll benefit you in the long run. So look, that's gonna do it for this one. Make sure you guys subscribe if you haven't already, and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a video, and drop me a like. Jump down in the comments, let me know what you guys think, and I'm gonna catch y'all in the next one, okay? Peace.